So welcome, my dear students, back. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, my dear students. This is lecture 5, Friday, 24 September, September 24. Lecture 5, Friday, September 24. And we will complete what we started yesterday on Thursday's lecture. We will complete what we started on chapter 3. We've been on the page of 34. And we will complete from there right away. So let's go there and see. Here we go. Here we go. We've been stopped on chapter on page 35. From there, we will complete now our work. That's all we did yesterday. We talk about the economic theories. We talk about the economic theories and the agency theory. This all we had yesterday. So, and we talk about the cost when you do technology, when you apply the technologies in your own organization or in your own firm, that will guarantee for you to reduce the risks and the costs of your work. We talk also about the behavioral theory and virtual organizations. We said what we are doing now is virtual work. And it allows me not to say only the lecture for 40 students or 30 or in a small area. No, I can give the lecture for more and more and more students and worldwide, everywhere in the world. So technology enables us to increase our productivity and increase our production volume. We increase the production volume, and we also evaluate and increase the ways or the techniques of the production. The rules of management of managers in organization, we are still on the same chapter, on chapter 3, and this is lecture 5. So we have classical mode of management. We had the classical mode of management, those focus on the work itself and focus on what we call time and motion study. And they focus on how to increase the productivity. They focus on some aspects like the management is a science, beside it is an art and science. So they said the management is art and science. Also, these scientific, they call it the scientific schools, because they start to say that management is science, is not kind of a smart to do it. No, it's a kind of science, plus it is an art, A-R-T, it is art. This classical school for formal functions, the functions of the jobs, their focus was here on the formal functions, plan, organize, lead, and control. Those are the main jobs. Then the behavioral school came and said, it's not only to care about the job or the work, but care about the workers as well. So you don't care only about the work, but you will care about the workers as well, not only about the work. We have also, we call this, even if you remember when we were talking about the rules, the first lecture, when we said about the aspects of the management, and we said the principle, those are principles, regardless of management information system or whatever. Those are the principles of the management itself. It never changed in anyone, in a kind of, it's the same in production management, in human resource management, in whatever. So the rule is the rule in everywhere. The management is the management in everywhere. So the managerial rules will never change. They are the same. We said they are interpersonal rule, and so expectations, activities that the manager should perform, intervenes. What are you imagining that the manager will have from the rules? The manager do interpersonal rule, informational rule, and decisional rule. Interpersonal, He's a figurehead for all the workers in the organization. He is a figurehead. Second thing, information, because he is a disseminator. He received the information and sent the information to the other levels. So the manager's rule is very important also because he is like a sender and receiver for the information. Third is decisional rule, mean he is having or making decisions. This is the manager. A manager is a person who makes decisions. He take the information and based on the information, he make decisions. So those are the rules. Okay. Here we go now because we have here some questions. I will start here now for page 38. And I will put a question here, lecture 5, question 1. What are the managerial rules? What are the managerial rules? And you will go for the answer right away. What are the managerial rules? And you please go for the answer now. For this question, we will devote around 9 minutes. That will be fine. We will take about 9 minutes for this question. What are the managerial rules? And while you are answering also, we will put a video about what are the managerial rules that will help you also to answer this question. Yeah. Okay. What are the managerial rules? Okay. You can see a video for what are the managerial rules. While you are answering this question, we can watch the video as well. Let's take this one. What are the managerial rules? Because it's very important also. So you will take it from the slides, the PowerPoints, the answer, and also the answer is here in this video. You can watch for more information or whatever. Okay.
Common question that many people find themselves asking is, what do managers actually do? Truthfully, this is a fair question. If we intend to train and educate the next generation of managers, isn't it important to have an understanding of what we're training them for? These questions plague the mind of a professor at McGill University by the name of Henry Mintzberg. You see, Mintzberg wasn't satisfied by Henry Fayol's depiction of managers as those that engage in planning, organizing, leading, and control. He felt that these functions were far too vague and weren't an accurate representation of what managers actually did on the job. So naturally, Mintzberg sought to uncover a more supportable and useful description of managerial work. In addition to conducting his own research, Mintzberg scoured current and available research pertaining to managerial roles. These studies incorporated managers at all levels of the organizational structure, as well as managers from different countries. Managers were observed firsthand in their natural environments, and some were even asked to keep detailed diaries of their various activities during the day. With access to all of this data, Mintzberg attempted to paint a much more accurate picture of managerial roles and accurately answer the question, what does a manager actually do?
So I will be enough with this part. Actually, there are some more detailed videos here, which I see is more better than this one because the voice is not very loud here. So that it doesn't help.
Meet Alexander. He's just accepted a job as a supervisor for a large tech company that manufactures consumer electronics. Alexander would be overseeing a team of production workers assembling components for a game console. In order to be a successful supervisor, Alexander must fill different management roles. Managerial roles involve specific types of behavior, conduct, and actions that a manager must demonstrate to be successful. A well-known researcher by the name of Henry Mintzberg identified 3 general management roles. They are interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. Let's take a quick look at each. Management is largely about interpersonal relations between the manager and people.
So the first one, like you see, is the interpersonal rule. The first one is the interpersonal rule. Okay.
Organization, such as employees, superiors, suppliers, and customers. As a supervisor, Alexander will serve in his interpersonal role while acting as a figurehead, leader, and liaison. As a figurehead, he represents the face of the company when interacting with people. He also serves as a leader to his team and acts as a liaison between his team members and upper management. He may occasionally act as a liaison between the company and suppliers or customers. Management is also about managing information. Alexander's informational role includes collecting information, receiving information, and disseminating information. For example, Alexander will receive production goals from his boss and will disseminate or communicate them to his team. He will also collect information on current production and send it to his boss for review. Managers are decision makers. In fact, failure to make decisions will often lead to failure. Alexander's decisional role includes being an entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and a negotiator. For example, Alexander must often seek creative solutions to problems, just like an entrepreneur. He is also responsible for managing and allocating resources to accomplish his production goals. In addition, he must handle unanticipated complications that disrupt his team and its goals, known as disturbance handling. Finally, he needs to be a deft negotiator to resolve.
So this was about the managerial rules and how it works, the managerial rules, how to work. And back to our own slide and PowerPoints. We are back to our PowerPoint. Okay. Here we go. And our question was, what are the managerial rules? What are the managerial rules? So we'll move forward now. Now we will move into another topic, which is very important, that we call it the decision making. Decision making. Decision making means you will choose between many alternatives and you will choose only one alternate. You will choose only one alternate. So what do I mean by this? In decision making, usually we have more than one alternate. We compare between them, then we choose the best alternate. How this works, I will tell you. If I have 2 exits now in this room, 2 exits in this room, and suppose that there was a fire and that both the rooms are open, then I can say I decided to escape or to get out of this door and leave the other one. This because I have options. I select between many alternates. But if I don't have any alternates and I have only one door to escape from if there is a fire, then I cannot say I decided. I cannot say I decided to escape from this door because this is the only outlet. This is the only outlet. So what I want to say here is that decision making is a process of choosing one alternate among other alternatives and applying this alternate and checking out after this, did it work or it didn't work? This is the decision making. Okay, how are the process of decision making? First thing, I will determine my objectives and my resources and my policies. I have to determine everything. Second, like I will try to put my hand, where is the problem? Where is the problem? This I try to put my hand on what the problem is, because I want to make a solution for the problem. Suppose now I will just say it with a very simple example, the decision-making process. And I want you, we will have a question after this, that you will do this by your own. You will do the decision-making process by your own. Okay. Let us suppose like this now. Let us suppose that I have a meeting with the dean of the college by 6 o'clock, and now it's almost 4 o'clock. So I have 2 hours to go. Okay, my problem, I don't want to be late on the on my boss. And the time from here, from Mississauga into the campus in Toronto, it takes with the car a long time, about 50 minutes. So I don't have enough time. So now the first thing is to look for a solution for the problem. The problem is I don't want to be late on my meeting. So how I will go? I will tell myself I can go in the subway, or I can go biking, or I can go walking, or I can go with a free ride, or I can go like with a taxi or a cab. I can go with the Uber. See how many solutions I have now? More than 6 solutions. Okay. Third step come in the decision-making process is that we will evaluate every alternate. Evaluate every alternate means that we will make a balancing or just cost and benefit analysis. We'll make analysis for what we will gain from and what we will lose, or the profits and loss, or the pros and cons. As example, let me say, if I go in the subway, I will go with $3 only. It will be very cheap, but it takes long time to go, more than the 2 hours. Maybe I will be late for the assembly or for the meeting. If I choose to go in a taxi, yes, I will go in time, that's true, but it will take long, it will take too much money from me to go in a taxi. To ride a taxi, it will take too much money. And this is not so. Every solution, every alternate, we are seeing what are the costs and what are the benefits. What are the for us and what's against us. Okay, the third point. If I say like this, if I go by free ride, I cannot guarantee the car which I will ride, will be very quick to go there or very slow down to go or whatever, takes more time or whatever. Or maybe I signal to a car and he is going part of the way, then after that he will change the way. He won't go for the same destination where I'm going. If I go with walking, and this also alternates because it might be suitable in some time. If the meeting was 4 o'clock and I'm talking about 9 o'clock in the morning, then I have enough time to walk. And walking is a sport. So I will get use of this point as well. So this is another point. So how many alternates I have? I have more than 4 or 5 alternates here. Perfect. Very perfect. Okay. So I have to see each alternate of these. I have to balance between the profits and loss and pros and cons, see what are the benefits, or do it with the cost and benefit analysis. Then, of course, I won't be able to do all at once. I won't be able to go in a private car and in the taxi in the same time, and in the bus or the train in the same time. I have to choose one of them. And this is the core of decision making, that you choose between alternatives. You are choosing between alternatives. This is the core of decision making. Okay, that's very perfect. I will choose now. I will choose as example, I will choose now to go in a taxi. Till the moment I'm just still talking, I didn't take any action or to change the verbal or the talk into action. Then I selected one option, that is to go in a taxi. That's fine. Okay, that's very fine. Now I have to move and go implement. We call it implement the decision or implement the selected alternate. The selected alternate, we are implementing it now. How I will implement it, I will let you know. I will go down or call the taxi cab and tell them to send me a taxi in this address. Here I started to move or to change the selected alternate from verbal, from just talking by mouth, into actual work. Then after this, I will go in the taxi. Still I am implementing the selected alternate. After that, as soon as I reach there, I will make a feedback. The step we call it feedback of the alternate. What do we mean by this? I will check my watch. I will check my watch and see what the time now. The time now is blah, blah, blah. Okay. Did I reach in time or am I late? So you will make a feedback to make sure that you are not late and you are in your time for your assignment or for your meeting. So again, this example, this simple example, represent for you the decision-making process. Again, I will say, we start with identifying the problem. Second, we will look for the solutions. Solutions means alternate. And always make sure that for every problem, there are more than one solution. For any problem existing in the world, there are more than one solution or alternate. Now I said the alternates, the bus, the train, all those are the alternates, So I have to evaluate each one of them. Evaluate means check the pros and the cons of each one of them. What are the benefits and what are the costs of each alternate? After this, I will take this alternates. Evaluate them like I'm evaluating them, and see the cost and benefit analysis. The car or the taxi will take too much money. This is cost, but I will reach in time. This is the benefit. So I will see the pros, the advantage and disadvantage of each alternate. Then I cannot take all the alternates. I have to take one of them only. Choose among alternatives. And this is the core of the decision making. In that case, I will choose to, as example, to go in a taxi. So I choose one alternate among the other alternatives. I favored it. Finally, I will implement, or not finally, before the final, I will implement the alternate. Implement it means move into action. Till the moment I was sitting in the chair and saying the car is better, or the train is better, or the subway is better, I'm just asking myself. Now I made a decision and I decided to go in a taxi. Still till the moment, only talk, nothing more, nothing less. In that case, when I just start to move into action by calling the taxi cab and calling the company, and they come and pick me up, and I go to my own meeting on my destination, in that case, I implemented the choosing plan or choosing alternate. Implementing the choosing alternate. Implementing means move into action, not just point on it and that's it. No, do it. Then finally, or the final step is the feedback to make sure that the implemented plan did or achieve the objective as you wanted or solve the problem. When I go there, I will look at my watch and see, am I late or am I in time? If am I in time, perfect, that's fine. Then this was a good alternate. If no, then this was a bad alternate. In that case, I will know from them which one was right and which one was wrong. Those are the 5 or the 6 steps of decision-making steps, and we will have a question right away about making steps. Before we go here, we will here have 41, and I will put here insert new slides. Question lecture 5, question 2. Discuss. I want you to put an example of your own. I want you to put an example of your own, my dear students. I want you to put example of your own about the decision-making process as from your own, like based on what I said just now. Try to find out some examples like what I said and put this example on the steps of decision-making. Discuss decision making steps with example of your own. Discuss the decision-making steps with example of your own. This is a question that you will answer for me now. Like I said, this is lecture 5, question 2. If you have your portal, please go to the portal and answer the question. It is in the portal and it's released for you. So go the same question, you will find it on the portal. So please go to the portal and answer these questions. If the portal is not working or there is any issues in the portal, you can send it to me on the chat. Here in the chat. You can send it here in this chat, in the Zoom chat. Time for this question is 10 minutes now. We'll have about 10 minutes here for this question. To go on this question. We'll have 10 minutes to go on this question. And I also will use a chance to put for you a video about the decision-making steps. Decision-making steps. That will make it easy for us. Here we go. I hope the voice is clear. We'll have 10 minutes to answer these questions, please.
Whether a decision is programmed or non-programmed, 6 steps typically are associated with the effective decision process. Managers confront a decision requirement in the form of either a problem or an opportunity.
Sorry, excuse me, I will go to the washroom and I will be back within a few minutes. Thank you. Please keep on solving the question. Discuss making steps process. I said an example and I'm putting a video for showing the steps back. And I want you just to make, all right, you can Google it as well. You can Google the answer as well. Thank you. We'll have here around 10 minutes, my dears.
The 6 steps typically associated with effective decision-making are recognition of the decision requirement, diagnosis and analysis of causes, development of alternatives, selection of a desired alternative, implementation of selected alternative, and evaluation and feedback. A problem occurs when an organizational accomplishment is less than established goals. Some aspect of performance is unsatisfactory.
An opportunity exists when managers see potential accomplishment that exceeds specified current goals. Managers see the possibility of enhancing performance beyond current levels. Awareness of a problem or opportunity is the first step in the decision-making sequence, and it requires surveillance of the internal and external environment for issues that merit executive attention. Some information in this process comes from periodic financial reports, performance reports, and other sources that are designed to discover problems before they're too serious. Managers also take advantage of informal sources. They talk with other managers, gather opinions on how things are going, and seek advice on which problems should be tackled and which opportunities embraced. Once a problem or opportunity comes to a manager's attention, the understanding of the situation should be refined. Diagnosis is the step in the decision-making process in which managers analyze underlying causal factors associated with the decision situation. Many times, the real problem lies hidden behind the problem that managers think exists. By looking at a situation from different angles, managers can identify the true problem. In addition, they often discover opportunities they didn't realize were there. Managers should ask a series of questions to specify underlying causes. They include the following. What is the state of disequilibrium affecting us? When did it occur? Where did it occur? How did it occur? To whom did it occur? What is the urgency of the problem? What's the interconnectedness of the events? And what result came from which activity? Some experts recommend continually asking why to get to the root of a problem. A technique is sometimes called the 5 whys. It's a question-asking method used to explore the root cause underlying a particular problem. The first why generally produces a superficial explanation for the problem, and each subsequent why probes deeper into the causes of the problem and potential solutions. The next stage is to generate possible alternative solutions that will respond to the needs of the situation and correct the underlying causes. Decision alternatives can be thought of as tools for reducing the difference between the organization's current and desired performance. Smart managers tap into the knowledge of people throughout the organization and sometimes even outside the organization for decision alternatives. Once feasible alternatives are developed, one must be selected. In this stage, managers try to select the most promising of several alternative courses of action. The best alternative solution is the one that best fits the overall goals and values of the organization and achieves the desired results using the fewest resources. Managers want to select the choice with the least amount of risk and uncertainty. Because some risk is inherent with most non-programmed decisions, managers try to gauge the prospects for success. They might rely on their intuition and experience to estimate whether a given course of action is likely to succeed. Basing choices on overall goals and values can also guide the selection of alternatives. Choosing among alternatives also depends on a manager's personality factors and willingness to accept risk and uncertainty. Risk propensity is the willingness to undertake risk with the opportunity of gaining an increased payoff. The level of risk a manager is willing to accept will influence the analysis of the costs and benefits to be derived from any decision. Now, implementation is all about the use of managerial, administrative, and persuasive abilities to ensure that the chosen alternative is carried out. The ultimate success of a chosen alternative depends on whether it can be translated into action. Sometimes an alternative never becomes a reality because managers lack the resources or energy needed to make things happen, or they fail to involve people and achieve buy-in for the decision. Successful implementation may require discussion, trust building, and active engagement with people affected by the decision. Communication, motivation, and leadership skills must be used to see that the decision is carried out. When employees see that managers follow up on their decisions by tracking implementation success, they're more committed to positive action. In the evaluation stage of the decision process, our last phase, decision makers gather information that tells them how well the decision was implemented and whether it was effective in achieving its goals. Feedback helps managers make better decisions. Decision-making is an ongoing process. It's not completed when a manager or board of directors makes a decision. Feedback provides decision makers with information that can perpetuate a new decision cycle. The decision may fail, thus generating a new analysis of a problem, evaluation of alternatives, and selection of an alternative. Many big problems are solved by trying several alternatives in sequence, each providing modest improvement. Feedback is part of the monitoring that assesses whether a new decision needs to be made. The decision-making process typically involves these 6 steps that we've talked about: recognizing the need for a decision, diagnosing causes, developing alternatives, selecting an alternative, implementing that alternative, and evaluating decision effectiveness.
Are we done for the question? Okay. Now we will move into another idea. So we finished the discuss about the decision-making steps. And I wish that you all put an example of your own. Thank you. Decisions, the types of decisions. Usually, we have two types of decisions. We have unstructured decisions and structured decisions. So what is the difference between structured decisions and non or unstructured decisions? Okay. The unstructured decisions are not familiar to us. We don't know anything about them. Usually, the unstructured decisions are like not familiar. It doesn't happen too much for us. It's like something like crisis, miseries happened, a hurricane, volcano, tsunami, or a great collapse in the economy situation. All these leads because we don't have previous scenarios for dealing with such a situation. So it is unstructured because we don't have a quick or ready-made solution for this problem. We call it unstructured. So it is non-routine, like you see here. Decision make provides judgment, evaluation, and insights to problem definition, and no agree upon procedures for decision making. Because it's not familiar, we don't know anything about it. So how will, okay. The structured one is something like every day you do every day. I will give you example, structured decisions like the decision to go and change the oil of your car. This is structured decision. But unstructured, God save you if you made an accident with your car because you didn't expect it and you were not planning for this. But here structured is like putting oil, changing the oil of your car, or putting gas into your car. Okay, so those are structured. The difference between structured and unstructured, and it's a routine one. The structured is a routine decisions and handled using different definite procedures because you know the procedures and you know how to solve this problem and you saw it once and twice and 3 and 4 times. It's not newly for you. Okay. We go now to stages of decision making. The intelligence collect information, design, conceive the alternate choice, then implement the plan like we said before. Look at this. It shows you very well what you wrote, your example, which you wrote just now. So is there a problem? What are the alternatives? Which should you choose? If this one you did is working, what you choose is working, then you will run it and you make check that it is okay. These are the decision making and these are the decision making process. And here we had it back. So let's put it here back, then go for the next page. People are rational and cognitive styles. Those are the types of people. Systematic decision makers. We have systematic decision. We have intuition. Those kind of people, intuitive, usually they have a good ideas. They are innovators. They have good solutions for every problem. So they are like, okay. If we put a new system for our company, what we will care about if we put a new system for our company, what are the factors that we will care about? We will care about the organizational environment. We will care about the structure and the hierarchy, specialization, standard operating procedures. That's what we care about. We'll care about the culture and the politics of the organization. We'll care about types of organization and its style of leadership. Okay. Those things are very important to put in your concern when you design a system. It's very important to put in your concern when you design information system. First of all, the flexibility means you are able to adjust and change the system which you do based on the situation and the circumstances around you. You have to move accordingly. So the flexibility is very important, and multiple options for handling data and evaluating information. Those are very important things that you must put in your concern when you design a new management information system. Capability to support a variety of styles, skills, and knowledge. This is the second point. You have to be aware of this. Okay. Capability to keep track of many alternatives and consequences. This is very important as well. Sensitivity to the organization's bureaucratic and political requirements. Put in your concern those factors when you design a new system. You should put in your concern the computer system which you are working on is updated or no. The goals, how they are changing, and to put the changes in goals in consideration while you are putting the system. So the system will be flexible to absorb and to be able to adapt to the changes in the nature. You must be open-minded, like open-minded. Helps organization to gain a competitive advantage. Competitive advantage means something you have it. The other competitors, they don't have. This is the meaning of competitive advantage. So it's for you an advantage because it's for you a point of strength, a point of strength. And for the others, your competitors, this represents a point of weakness based on SWOT analysis model. Now we'll go to a question back about what are the things in your concern. What do you have to put in concern? Put in concern when you design a management information system. What are the things that you had to put in your consideration? I believe this is the question number, okay, lecture 5, question 1, question 2. This will be lecture 5, question 3. Lecture 5, question 3. So what you will put in your concern when you are designing a new management information system. The most important one of them is the flexibility. Is the flexibility of the system. The system must be very flexible to absorb and to get all new points. Here we go. And you can have the answers as well, or the answers, you can have it. You can have the answers from the previous pages here, which we talk about. From that previous pages, we had here. Those are the points. Please look in your D2L contents. I put the slides there. I'll upload slide there. So you will find it on chapter 3, starting from the answer from page 52 and going on. But you have to put in your concern when you design a management information system. Time for this question is 7 minutes. 7 minutes to answer this question. All are answering, my dears. What do you have to put in concern when you design a management information system? We have more 6 minutes for this question, please. We have more 6 minutes for the answer of this question. Thank you. Look also for a video while you are answering. We can put a video, see a video about this question that might help you to enrich your knowledge while you are answering this question. That will be fine. Here we go, the question back. I see this one is very nice. Let us see it. It's about the cloud computing that help as well. It's a very wealthy lecture here. That's fine. So back to our question. What do you have to put in your concern when you design the management system? So the answer, like I showed you before, is the ability to be flexible, the capability of support a variety of styles. This is the answer. The capability to keep track of many alternatives, the sensitivity to the organization's bureaucratic and political requirements. Those are all the things which you have to put in your concern when you design a management information system in your company. It's now almost the time, 1 hour passed now, and it's the time for your break. Shall go for our break for 15 minutes, then we will come back as after the break. Thank you so much. Enjoy your break. Thank you. Let me put for you this now. It's the time for the break. We have 15 minutes break. Then we'll come back after the break. Thank you so much. Okay. Shall be back within 15 minutes. Thank you so much. Enjoy your break, guys. Thank you. Students, hello. You can enjoy now your break, and we will be back like around 10 minutes, and we will be back. So that's fine. That's okay. Thank you so much. So enjoy your break now, and we will be back around 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you. That is okay. Here we go. Yeah. Thank you so much. Enjoy your break, my dears. Take your time, feel free. Then we will come back after 15 minutes. Stretch yourself, do a cup of coffee, whatever you want to do. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. We'll be back within 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you. Okay, my dear students, we'll come back to the final part 2 of this our lecture, which is a common part for all our work. It's a very common part. We will come to the point that, let us share the screen, our in-class activities. So here, we will work on 2 routes here on 2 main questions. Within the upcoming 15 minutes, please complete all your missing questions on D2L. If you are done, please move to the next question below. Again, I'm saying, within the upcoming 15 minutes, please complete all your missing questions on the D2L. If you are done, please move to the next question below. So if you did all your in-class activities, nothing is missing in this 15 minutes, then go to the next question. The next question is, write what you came to know today in not less than 15 lines. So what I want you to do is to write what you came to learn today in not less than 15 lines, maybe more. It's preferably to be written, handwritten. And what? Take a picture with your camera, with your cell phone, then paste the answer on the D2L. Again, I would say, if you are done for your first question, please move to question number 2. Question number 2 is an aggregate question. Which means that what you came to learn from today's lecture, the main points. By the way, don't focus on one point and leave the others. Try to make a cadence between all the parts of your answer. Don't focus. If I'm telling you to describe a human being, don't focus on the hands and leave the head and the chest and the shoulders and back. No, focus on all equally, on all the parts of the lecture. It's what you came to learn about 15 lines, more or less, it's okay. But I prefer that you write it handwritten, should be handwritten, then take a picture and paste it, copy and paste it to your D2L system. After you write it with your handwritten, because that will fix it more. You won't take it, copy and paste, then we didn't do anything. When you write it down, that's why we are here about 30 minutes in this part or less, because you have to write it down. So this, I will ensure that there is a good feedback today for your work and that you are well done. So please, we will work now on the 2 questions. Don't forget, after you write on an external paper note, any note outside. Then after you finish, take a picture, then copy and paste in its place in the D2L. The question and the D2L. Write the answer, or if you have problems with the D2L, you can send it to me on the chat here. You can send it to me here on the chat. Thank you so much. You have a great day, everybody. Okay, we'll go now for those 2 questions. We'll keep here around 25 minutes. Thank you so much. In class activities, plus what you came to learn about today's lecture. If you are missing any of your activities, work on question 1. If you are done for all the in-class activities, go to question 2. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm here for anyone who need any questions. I'm there for anyone who need any questions. Thank you so much. Also, I will also put the video. I will put the videos also for the students who came late. I will put the videos for the students who came late, so they can watch what we are doing. Thank you. Students who came late, so they can watch, and for you also to remind you with what we came to know today, or what we came to learn today. Let me make it learn. What we came to learn today. what we came to learn today. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I'm here for any questions. I'm here. Thank you.